In this game, Simeon takes black, Baptiste takes white. For now, everything is correct. I think that probably extending on the right side is bigger than on the top side, because on the top side there are already a few stones, but the top side is of course also big. Now white might be called a little bit over concentrated, but we need also to keep in mind that there is a weakness in black's shape. So usually if we kicked and we have a stone on the fourth line, we continue with a move like this or like that. This would be correct. But in the game, black played elsewhere, and then white hit the weak point of black's shape immediately. This is a strong move, and black should have connected here. There is no other choice. Even though the fight is difficult, we need to accept it. White will play like this, then white can also play that Hane. Push once more. Cut is not possible because of the ladder. If the ladder doesn't work, then we can cut, and it's annoying for black, but now it doesn't work. And then the next move of white should be... In fact, maybe black can play here first. Like this, I would be happy as black. So maybe the correct variation is somewhere along these lines. Because if black played this one instead, white can connect, and this should be satisfactory for white, I believe, even though black is alive. But white created that group in center and can continue on the right side. So maybe it can continue like this, or if black tries to kill white, it is too naive. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So what is the final conclusion here? White can also push once more. I think that the final conclusion is that it leads to a messy fight, and there is that ko involved. So white can play like this, but it's also not clear that it's good for white. So black should accept it. Black should accept such a fight. And remember that Tesuji, it's very handy, very useful. In the game, black descended, but then white already gets a big part of black's corner, and if black ignores, then the next move is also center. So white is very happy with this result. Maybe black should play the next move here, but then white strengthened the top group so much in center. In the game, black played Atari, but this is, again, not optimal move. It's not that white will now start this ko. It is maybe risky for white, because white also is going to get weak if white loses the ko. But the problem is that the agi of the ko will be always there. And I cannot really imagine that black starts it by himself, since white didn't put a stone at S18, the ko is very light for white. White doesn't really need to win it. White can simply play normal moves. So black really cannot start this ko by himself, but white can, whenever white decides that it's a good choice. So whenever white has enough big threats. For now, white continues. I think that the right side is very big because of black's formation there. Then black played here, white played on the right side. This is also a big move. White invaded. I think that the left side might be the biggest. This is a fine exchange. We can then continue maybe here. Maybe something like this. Black jumped. It's not putting much pressure on white, but it's also a good move. This one as well. I think that it's not very big to continue here. It might be bigger somewhere else on the board. Maybe this direction. Because still there is an annoying weakness in black's shape. Then white continued this way and started the call, because indeed now white has threats. And after black descended, I have a very practical advice for everyone. Because it's a common thing that there is such a call on the second line, like call on the third line for capturing a stone on the second line. And your opponent might use a descent as a threat. And then if you answer to this threat, the call will continue. And they are happy that they played this threat. It's in fact a plus if they win the call. But when your opponent descends, you have another choice. You can just leave it, because that move doesn't put pressure on you. Right now, if white simply continues with normal moves, white still needs to capture the call to have chances to win it. It's basically like before the call started. Also, if black wants to do anything, black needs to capture. But there is that exchange, that additional exchange, which is almost always a profit for white. Why is it a profit for white? Because it gives white other options. For example, maybe white wants to play the call just normally, but maybe white wants to do something different, play here and there. These choices didn't exist without that exchange. So it's very useful to know that now you can just tenuki and decide later what to do. But white thought that for now he has enough threats, so he continues. Black played the threat, yes, white also did. And this move already doesn't put much pressure on white. Maybe it was better to continue, because I think that after playing all these moves, A, B, C, D, white doesn't have two big threats, so maybe soon black will be able to finish the call, or this is in fact a negative threat. Black gets something on it, so let's say white plays here. Can black connect? Well, maybe this threat is still big enough, so black will answer. But I think that black might continue the call, and soon white will be short on threats. But black played a normal move, not a threat, and then black expected that white will capture and black can fix the shape here, but white found a better move. Now if black captures, white can create a shape there and then just capture everything. So in the game, black was forced to sacrifice the 3 stones as well. But this is a big success for white. Now the only chance of black is to somehow use the influence black has and put pressure on white's group, but white managed it well, I believe. It's a common technique to first push and then play that move, trying to force your opponent to an empty triangle. In the game, black pushed first, like this, trying to enclose white. But white was quite successful at running out. Now white has... Can white run out? Maybe not really, but I think that, yeah, it's unreasonable for black to try to contain white. So if white wants, white can run out, but white decided to simply make a base. Yes, also possible. And it seems that white also didn't have to play around here at all, because if black destroys white's base, white can go out with this move. But anyway, white has a big advantage, so white can play very simply. Here, white doesn't try to do anything complicated. instead just play endgame, giving away the 2 stones. This is also a very big move, good to know it. It has a very, very annoying continuation. So if black doesn't answer, then white can play this Atari, this, and black ends up with only a 1 eye. So very often we would see black responding to that move of white. Black didn't, so now white can play here. For now, white plays different moves. And the game was rather calm. I think that this is a bit too small for this phase of the game. Still, we can play forcing moves in the center. And this is also a complete center move, completely a center move. And only then we should go back to moves like this. But white was very satisfied and played that call move at t2. But now white risked something. So yeah, this was a wrong choice. We should play in the center. This was our easy way for a win, and that one was certainly not an easy way. Another fight started. And in the end, white was split. So this was all incorrect by white, even if these happen to be perfect moves according to a bot, because white has a way to live inside. From a human perspective, it is for sure bad to play like this and risk dying. And well, I don't think that these are perfect moves according to AI, but still. It was certainly a big risk, but in the end, black did not manage to capture white's group. White made life, even capturing black. So then the game was completely decided, and white made the advantage even bigger. So that's how the game finished. Thank you for listening, and we will move to the next review.